in my bed and not in my filming studios. My big squishmallow my friend got me for my birthday a couple years ago. He's freaking huge. So I typically don't talk about my work life much on here because I really try to just like avoid thinking about work as much as possible. And if you're in food service or retail, you know. Okay. But I just had the craziest shift in my life and I really just needed to share, honestly. I thought you guys might find it entertaining and you know, it is what it is, so. So, just to give you guys some background, I do work food service part-time. I work at a local Mediterranean restaurant near me. It's not a chain, it's a small business. And I don't work that much. I worked a lot in the summer, but I work Tuesday mornings, Wednesday mornings, and Saturday nights. And my Saturday nights, which was the night shift, I work with the cashier who's been working the longest. So it's usually like busy. It's busy on Fridays and Saturdays, but it's usually relatively smooth because we both kind of know what we're doing. I've been working there about 3 years. She's been working there about 4 or 5. And she's finishing up school. So today was Saturday night. And usually how it works in my restaurant, at least, is like we open at like 11 and like it's not really busy till like 12:30 to 1:30. It's like super busy. 2 to 4 there's not a single person in the restaurant, and then like 6 to 7 is really busy. I sat down today and literally like as soon as I sat down, people started coming in. And I have worked a lot of rushes in my life, but I have never worked anything like this today. We were running out of room, like on the thing where we put the tickets up. We were putting them on the counters. There was like so little room. We were cramming them and they were falling onto the grill and getting burnt. Okay, that was the situation. And me and my coworker were like stumbling over each other, trying to like get stuff done. Like people just kept coming in. They had a lot of requests. We couldn't fit the bags and the trays on the counter. Like we were out of room completely. And our plate setter was working with a burnt hand, so he was injured. And our cook that was working tonight was the most new of anyone, so it was taking longer to like get the stuff out. So first offense, y'all. Maybe like 5:30, this guy comes in and he like walks up to the register, and of course I am super kind and nice to everyone. I genuinely mean that. I'm super nice to everyone who walks in because that's my job. Customer service plus tips, right? Tips are good. So he walks in and I'm like, hi, welcome. Doesn't say anything. That's fine. He's whatever. He walks in, he comes up to the register, and he's like, I'll have 4 falafel. Okay? The falafel at my job is really good, by the way. It's like all I eat. And I was like, okay, perfect. And then he was like, do you have the red sauce? And we're out of red sauce, y'all. I don't know if you know, but there is a sriracha shortage. Let's all really let that sink in. So there is sriracha at the grocery stores. Okay, but Restaurant Depot, where a lot of restaurant owners buy their ingredients in bulk to save money, there is no sriracha. There's no red chili base, the stuff we sell. And it's not worth it because we mostly give them out for free. It's not worth it to get the little ones because it's just so expensive and it's so much plastic and it's just like not worth it. So I'm like, I'm so sorry. We still don't have any red sauce. We do have green. He's like, the green is oily. It's disgusting. I have to drain it every time. Why do you put so much oil in it? I'm like, I these are all excuses. These are all excuses. And I was like, yeah, I know, like, it's really disappointing, but unfortunately there's a shortage right now. And that usually shuts people up. But he was like, there's no shortage. Okay. He's like, the restaurant has it. I'm like, that's great for the restaurant. The restaurant depot that we buy our products at is out of it, and so therefore my boss cannot attain it. So therefore, there is no red sauce. But he's like, no shortage, there's no shortage. These are all just excuses. I was like, you know, the red sauce is really popular. What reason would my boss have for like just not providing it? For giggles, it's not adding up. But I'm nice. I'm like, oh, like, I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Anyway, so then my coworker tells me, she's like, by the way, that guy's gonna ask for a free piece of pita bread and 6 sauces, and you have to charge him. Because our rule is 1 plate, 2 sauces for free. He didn't even order a plate, he ordered the cheapest thing on our menu. He's asking for 6 sauces and a free piece of pita bread. So she's like, told us we have to charge him. Because the sauce he was requesting, all of our sauce besides the red sauce is made in-house. So it's a lot of time, it's a lot of product, and it's expensive to make. And I was like, I don't want to tell him. And she was like, yeah, well, me neither, so good luck. Terrible. So first he comes up to me and he's like, where's my pita bread? And I'm like, sorry, the falafel doesn't come with pita bread. And he's like, I brought my own pita bread. I mean, I respect it. And there's another guy watching this all happen, and he's looking at me like I am so evil because I made this guy go back into his car and bring his own pita bread. But I even offered to warm it up for him, even though we're not allowed to. So I warm up his pita bread, and I give it back to him, and I'm like, please do not ask for the sauce right now because I don't want to have this conversation. And he's like, where's my 4 green sauce and my 2 tzatziki? And I already know the guy watching thinks I'm such a jerk because this like poor old guy like is like not getting what he needs, but like I can't do anything about it. Like, it's my job. So I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. Our boss says we can't give away any more free sauce. We're gonna have to charge you for it. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And he's like, you have to charge me for it. And he starts like talking so much. He starts talking so much that he's like drooling out of his mouth. And he doesn't realize. And this guy is looking at me like I am evil. So he comes over and he's like, whatever he wants, I'll pay for it. I'll pay the $1.50. Like, and then the guy was like, no, it's okay. Like, he's gonna make, I'm like, you are not making a heroic sacrifice. So he gives me $1 and I give him his sauce and he's like, can you drain them for me? And I'm like, no, because I can't really touch the sauce with my bare hands. That's super like not okay. And he was like, so I have to do it by myself. And I was like, yes. And the guy watching just thinks I'm the biggest jerk in the world, but like he doesn't understand that this guy comes in and it's like exploiting us. Like, he is ordering $4 worth of food and then like eating an extra free $4 worth of food. So that was the first problem with my shift tonight. But he left and it was fine. And then here comes the next part. Okay, it gets even busier. We are literally like, phones are ringing, the DoorDash thing is going off, there's a line out the door, there's no room for the tickets, 2 of them fell on the grill, I'm pretty sure one of them's in the fry oil. Things are going terribly. We don't have room for the plates, we don't have room for the bags, we don't have room for anything. It's so terrible. Me and my coworker are like running all over trying to get this done, right? And somewhere in the midst of this, I just want to say that all the customers saw us like on the struggle bus because they were like, oh my god, you guys are so busy, good job, like I see you guys are working hard, like it's so busy tonight. So because everyone can see what we're doing, we're just behind a counter, we're not like in the back. Guys, this is me editing. I just wanted to say that also it was 90 degrees inside the well, it was like 85 degrees in the restaurant and the grill is right in somewhere we get mixed in translation, and we tell him it's gonna take 7 to 10 minutes. And when he gets there, he's like, I'm here for Sean. And my coworker's like, oh, Sean is here, but it says Shane on the ticket, right? His food gets left on the counter. I put it down because I don't know, and we don't have time to communicate, and we don't even have time to realize that we are making a mistake because there's so much stuff to do. I burnt my hand because I was grabbing bread directly off the grill because I didn't have time to get the tongs. Like, I was burning myself trying to get people their food. And finally, like 20 minutes later, we like finally reach a point where we can like take a break and like look around for the first time and be like, what do we need to do? What are we missing? Like, we're not in like one like stare mode where like you're just doing one thing to get it done. Like, we finally can like look around, and my coworker notices that his food, it's still sitting there, and it's been like 15-20 minutes. And so she picks it up and she goes, for Sean, whatever his real name was. And he comes up and she goes, I'm so sorry, it got super busy. I forgot about your food. And I can't say everything he said because there was a lot of cuss words, a lot of cursing in it, and in real life, I don't mind to swear. I like to dabble in a swear word, but for YouTube purposes, obviously, I can't say it. But I'm just gonna replace the words. He looks at my coworker, he like snatches the food, and he goes, this is freaking ridiculous. He goes, this is freaking ridiculous. Snatches his food from her, like, really aggressively. And he was like, it has been 25 freaking minutes, and you guys told me 7 to 10 minutes, and it's been 25 freaking minutes, and I just got my food. This is ridiculous. I will never be coming back. He takes his tip from the tip jar out and goes, I don't know why I even tipped you guys. You guys clearly can't do your job. Okay. So, I understand his frustration, but I can't even look at him because while he's talking, there's 2 phones ringing. Someone dropped a chicken skewer on the floor. Things are happening. I don't even have time to listen to him. And I'm just like, we can't like help him right now. We can't like be like, I'm so sorry. Like, what can we do? There's nothing we can do because if we spend time doing that, we're gonna fall behind and the next person's gonna be angry. Also, he took more money out of the tip jar than he put in. We think, okay, because she saw how much he put in and I saw how much he took out, and it did not add up. And so he leaves and he's talking to the person. He's like, they're not even listening to me. And he just like opens the door and like storms out. And I'm gonna comment on this really quick because I understand that it's really frustrating when you order something and you feel like the people are not taking your order seriously. But I just want to say, it is so busy. There's a line out the door. There is probably 25 people waiting for their food. I am taking 2 phone orders. I am taking phone orders, making bags at the same time. Like, we are not on our phones texting or like all laughing and talking. Like, you can see everyone's really stressed. And our plate setter is injured and he's like working through an injury. And also, if you had enough time to time how long it took for your food to come out, you should have realized, he definitely realized somewhere in between 10 minutes and 25 that his food should probably be out. And this has happened to me, and I will vouch for this. If I go to a restaurant and I feel like my food is taking longer than they said, I will get up and ask. I'll be like, hey, you said my food was gonna be ready now, and I don't see it. And they'll either be like, oh, it'll be a couple more minutes, and I like mistimed it, or they'll be like, oh my gosh, like something happened, or we forgot. And I'm really nice because mistakes happen. You know, you're a human. If you're working all day, at some point you're gonna forget food. Like, things that you can't be perfect. There's no way you can be perfect. And if you worked in food service and if you worked in retail, you would know that. But he was yelling at us, and I was telling my coworker, I was like, I would have just gone up and asked. And honestly, if he came up to us nicely and was like, hey, you told me 7 to 10 minutes and it's been 25 minutes, and like, I just think that's right. We would have given him a baklava and apologized and been like, I'm so sorry, sir. Like, we got super busy. Would you like some baklava for you and your family? Like, what can we do? You know what I mean? Like, do you want a discount? Like, what can we do? But he's like screaming at us and we don't even have time to react. And I was telling my coworker, I was like, it's just really frustrating because, like, obviously, like, we weren't purposely forgetting his food. We weren't like sitting on our phones, like yapping and like weren't doing our job. Like, we were working so hard, and like people are hurt, and like the situation is just not good. You know what I mean? And to like call people ridiculous and say they can't do their jobs, like because of one mistake, and to take money out of the tip jar that you put in, like, and like scream at someone who was just trying to like get their stuff done, like, it just like really bothered me. And I don't want to say he's not valid, but there's like a way to go about it. Like, can we just be human to each other? Can we just be nice? Because that's happened to me before, and it feels really frustrating when someone forgets your order. But it's okay to go up to the person and be like, hey, where's my order? He knew that was his order. I am positive of it because he had a very specific order, and he was watching us, so he saw it get back and put aside, and he waited until we had a second to breathe from a huge rush to yell at us and berate us. I was like, I honestly wanted him to call because I told her I would get fired over it. I would be like, oh, do you want to clock in and do it? I don't think so. No one wants to work here. Everyone has to work here because they need to pay their bills. So anyway, so that happened. I was like, and it was just really like frustrating. And like the next couple people were really nice. They were like, I'm sorry he yelled at you guys. And this like lady who was there was telling my coach, she's like, he was really angry, and she was like, you know, like, we try to do our best, but sometimes like mistakes happen, and like I understand people get frustrated. And she was like, yeah, mistakes happen. He should not have screamed at you. And like, it's nice when people validate you in that way, because no matter what's happening, unless someone like spits in your food in front of you, there's no reason to scream at anybody. So I'm gonna get to the last problem. We keep having a rush. We keep having a rush for the next 2 hours. It's nonstop. I don't have a second to drink water. I don't have a second to check my text. I don't have a second to check on my coworker. I don't have a second to do anything. We're sweeping up rice off the floor. We're just like taking care of things. We run out of bread. My coworker's like making bread as we need it. It's like not my deal. And it's my job to clean the bathrooms. And unfortunately, this is going exactly where you think it's going. Clear editing again. This is a content and trigger warning for anyone who does not want to hear about disgusting part-time job bathrooms. Please do not continue. But if you like drama and want to see me suffer a little bit, keep going to hear the story. So, I'm trying to think of how to tell the story. So, I am supposed to do my closing before we close, but I just didn't have time at all. No one had any time to do anything. And I'm supposed to get off at 8, and it's like 8:05, and my coworker goes, you need to clean the bathroom. And I go, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. And she says, it's really, really, really bad. And I'm like, oh my god. So I go in there, and there is poop smeared all over the toilet, everywhere. And I was like, oh my god. There was a woman who came in, and she was on a walker, and she had one of those casts on her leg that has screws going through your leg, and she was severely limping. And I saw her go into the bathroom earlier. I was like, oh my goodness, she must have had a really bad accident and been totally unable to clean up herself, because she couldn't even stand at all. And I was like, oh my, I just felt so bad, because I used to work home healthcare. This kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I used to like literally my job used to be help old people shower and change colonoscopy bags. Like, I was home care aide certified. Like, I saw all kinds of gross things. It doesn't bother me because I know at the end of the day we're all just human and like things happen. And I was cleaning up the toilet and I just felt really bad. I was like, oh my god, like I can't imagine that happening to me or someone I care about. Like, she has a severe disability in this moment. Like, she obviously just got some kind of like really intense surgery, and she had like a badly timed accident and like wasn't able to clean it up and is probably like, really embarrassed and like scared. I clean it up with gloves on. I really don't care. I wash my hands several times because like just for cleanliness purposes. And I tell my coworker, I'm like, you know, it's just like, I don't even care. I honestly just feel really upset because like I can't imagine being in that position, and I honestly just feel like so sad because I'm like watching people you love not be able to do the things they used to be doing. Like, it really hits hard, and like I really saw it firsthand when I was working in senior help, and she was like, that mess wasn't from that lady. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, that lady didn't go into the bathroom earlier. That was that person who just walked out. That person had 2 working legs and 2 working arms. And that person left poo all over the toilet and said, not my problem. And that is just, you know, humans are just so cruel. That is a very cruel thing to do. Do we understand, like, to leave that for somebody else is just disturbing and almost feels like a weird egotistical power move. And I was just like instantly disgusted because if something happens and you are unable to clean up yourself, I feel nothing but sympathy and love and respect for you, like getting through the day, because the world isn't set up for people with disabilities and it makes it very difficult. But for you to have 2 working legs and arms and just leave your poop everywhere for me to clean up when I make barely above minimum wage, and the food this person ordered was equal to like 9 hours of my work, and to leave your poo on the toilet. And I was sitting here like being like cleaning this up, being like, oh my god, I just hope that she gets better soon. It wasn't even her. She didn't even use the bathroom. I was honestly disturbed. The audacity. I am literally not big enough. And I really don't mind cleaning it up, honestly. Again, I used to work in home healthcare. I did a lot of gross things for people that most workers wouldn't do because I know I really have a lot of sympathy and I really care about people, and I help people when they are at their lowest, and that was my job, and I did it for like no pay because I really, really love my clients and I really wanted to see them happy and be able to do the things that they used to do with just a little bit of assistance. And I sat through that job for so long when they treated me so bad because I have so much care and love for people. But this guy, if I see this guy out on the street, I am going to run him over with my car. And I lost a little bit of faith in humanity today. And I think that it really made me realize that I need to finish college because I can't work in this industry forever. The good days are okay and the bad days are just awful. And I just can't, like, the amount of people who are like, look looking at me crawling on all fours, like trying to piece together the bags one by one, make bread, cook the stuff, make the thing at the same time, and be like, why is it taking you so long when they are watching me run in circles? Food service is just one of those things, and I am just so grateful to be home with my dog, with my cats, with my family. I'm seeing my friends tomorrow, and I am just so happy to be out of there. I was literally driving home in silence because I had to like comprehend. Good news is that I did win a Pokemon from the claw machines. As my coworker let me go run real quick and do it when we were like at a 10-minute like breathing period. It was right after that guy yelled at him. I was like, imagine he comes back and sees me like playing the claw machine, but I've been wanting to play my whole shift and I didn't have a break today, so I really hope you guys got something out of the story, because I honestly don't know what else could come of this besides a really good video. And I know this is not everyone's cup of tea, but I love angry ASMR, so I really hope you enjoy it. I really hope that anyone who's working food service or retail or any kind of like entry-level part-time job like that, that you are doing okay, and you remember that these people do not determine who you are as a person. And if they met you outside of where you work, they would probably really love you and really respect you, but because they see you as less than, because you're working in this kind of field, does not mean you are less than, and you can be good at your job and make mistakes. And it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay for people to get angry, but it's not okay for people to berate you or call you names or take money out of the tip jar that they didn't give, or I would never take money out of the tip jar, or to say you're ridiculous or call you stupid or say you can't do your job, because you can do your job. But no matter how perfect you are at your job or how good you are at your job, every single person who works has made mistakes before, especially when it's getting busy, especially when there's a lot to do and you're anxious and you're gonna forget things, and it's okay. And I understand why he was angry, but I do not understand why he was cruel. And to the guy that pooed all over the toilet, you're done. You're done. But anyways, I hope you guys sleep well. I hope you find some humor in this situation, because I know I had to. And I hope that you enjoy this video, because I really need my suffering to be worth it. And I love you all. I hope you all sleep well. And I hope that all my food service baddies are having a great night. Okay? I'm manifesting you good customers, steady dining,